Stephen A. Nobody loves their job more than Stephen A. Smith. I swear. You know, you used to have to explain to people like what a sellout was. Somebody who completely would sell out their entire race for $1, and not even a dollar amount, just for the look, just to be on television, just to give the appearance he's the head honcho. And real brothers understand what it's like when you don't tap dance. Real brothers understand what it's like because they are not even going to contact you to see what's going on, because they know not to even deal with people such as Stephen A. Smith. But the real problem shows up when it's always him in controversy with people that look just like him, where he interjects himself into a situation that had nothing to do with him on national television, targeting Kwame Brown, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and the list goes on and on. From Westbrook to now Will Smith, anybody who says anything about Caitlin Clark. But he's doing his job. That man is doing his job. This man made a video here saying that Stephen A. was two-faced. He's not two-faced. He's one-faced. He's got one face. He only pretends to be another face. Remember, he told you his motto in life is, how do I make my bosses more money? And how do I get a piece of it? To even say that in a speech and program it and he not only doubles down, he goes on other talk shows and drop the same sentiment. Like, I really meant that. I'm going to double down yet again. It was sad to see. Now, over the years, we've all seen Stephen A. do what he do. But it's his job. Someone's putting these work to him. Yeah, Jaylen Brown too. You're right. But somebody's putting the screws to him. Someone's telling him to react the way he's reacting. Someone's putting a battery in his back. Because Stephen A. whole goal in life is thinking about his bosses. That's the only thing he cares about. And if it ain't about the bosses, he's not concerned. What do Bob Iger and Jimmy Pitaro think? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that's going to matter. Not what anyone else in the world has to say, only his bosses. The Will Smith comment didn't make us feel one way or another. We expected it. From him, it's expected. Now, when you look at the narratives and you start saying to yourself, well, I feel that Stephen A. Smith has done the right thing or he's doing the right thing. What did you think he's doing it for? He's doing it for these guys. That's who he's doing it for. He liked being on the plantation. He liked being a good old boy. You see, not everybody was trying to escape the plantation. There were some who loved it because they didn't get beat every day. Only those who was bad, they got the beatings. And that was okay by them, just as long as it wasn't them. They might get a whole apple to themselves. Oh, we got a Campman fan here. Nobody famous cares what I have to say. Bron and Anthony Edwards are examples of me targeting black men. Did I target them because they were black or because of what they were doing? Did I not tell the truth about both individuals? Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever play in the game. These are called facts. That's right, Mr. Bill. You tell them facts. Everything I said was facts. See? Then now you pull up an oxymoron because now if you're saying and you're complaining about that, here you are coming after a black man for telling the truth. Nobody knows you. I don't know you. Don't worry, give him time. He'll catch up. Now, here's the thing. Stephen A., we understand what you are. And it's not just me. So it's not like I'm the only one that's against Stephen A. Smith and what he represents, because what he represents is BS. He likes being on that plantation. Others have spoke out against him. He liked being on that plantation. So when he talk about Caitlin Clark and everything else, somebody else is putting him up to it. Do you think Stephen A. Smith, who ain't said 5 words about the WNBA in the last 5 years, all of a sudden cares so much about Caitlin Clark? That's the agenda of Bob Iger and Jimmy Pitaro. They care about Caitlin Clark. So if Master's sick, he's sick. If Master tired, he tired too. So Master like Caitlin Clark. He gotta like Caitlin Clark. If Master likes sweet potato pie, I got to have me. Boy, I love that sweet potato pie. They'd be like, you're allergic. It don't matter. Master like it, so it gotta be good for me. It's all in my head. Now, this kind of foolery has been going on for years, and only because of people like him. Some people actually like it. They love the position they're in. But he's mad now because other brothers are not following this suit. People are waking up and seeing him and calling him out for what he is. He don't like it. They're never gonna like it. When you hold a mirror to their face, they don't like it. I could see if he had any kind of real connection to Caitlin Clark, but he don't. He don't care about Caitlin Clark. He cares about him. Now, listen to what Corey Holcomb said. It was pretty much on point.
To the black community.
But somewhere along the way, he has to sit down and talk to the black community. You can see all the white people around Will Smith all you want to. Black folks have loved and revered this man for decades. He was the closest thing to perfection, as his friend Charlie Mack once told me, for decades. Everybody makes a mistake. This is not hatred. I love Will Smith still. But you got to have a conversation as to why you did that.
because
Mm.
nobody in this world needs to apologize to the black community more than Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A.
Mm.
Yeah, right there. That line right there. Nobody owes an apology to the black community more than Stephen A. Smith. How dare you call Will Smith out for slapping another man and say he needs to explain to the entire black community black community need to know why you slapped that man. They saw why he slapped him. Chris is still hurt. He's traumatized. Well, don't you think it'd be more trauma if you keep it going? You ever thought about that since you cared about Chris so much? Chris said, I'm not a victim, and you're not going to victim me. But yet, Stephen A., without talking to Chris Rock, wants to victimize him. How convenient. Nobody owes an apology to the black community more than Stephen A. Smith. That's true. You got on television, and because you have a complexion of us, you have the world depiction of us and promote that to millions of people on your platform that you work for. ESPN. Corey gave you blunt, honest truth. What is blunt, honest truth? What is the blunt, honest truth?
That man is crazy. I ain't even as mad as I used to be. I know he's autistic. He's autistic. He really think that he's the reason good things happen. Look, let me tell you something, ESPN. If Abe was the host of ESPN in the morning, he would be number one because everybody watches ESPN because it is the biggest network. And
So
stop
fix is
taking
in.
credit for something like you the reason this is this and you're not. You're nothing. You a boy. And you got your tag team partner that I'm shocked he became your tag team partner.
Oh,
That's
Shay.
Mr. Sharp. He has become your defender. Every time somebody disagrees with him, you hear Shannon say, "Ah, blah, 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 hey, blah, 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 blah."
I noticed that.
And right away, Corey's right. In just few words, explain the entire situation. Every time somebody says something, Shannon opened his mouth to defend Stephen A. When Stephen A. is a grown-ass man who could defend himself. Shannon sees Stephen is bothered, and just like an old hound dog, he come off that porch. Oh, now, come on now. Come on now, that's Stephen A. now. You know what he done for us. I'm like, somebody throw him some goddamn oats. Throw Shannon Sharp some oats and let him graze on them oats while you address Stephen A. Smith. I keep telling y'all, Black folks didn't like the fact that Chris was slapping a man. Well, Chris was getting slapped by a man who was doing it on the commands of his doggone low down dirty wife. That's what black folks saw. That's what irritated black people. That's all. Now, when you see people who make fun of you, they belittle you. And they dog you out every time. You're supposed to be the boss. You the executive producer of First Take. That's what he tells everybody, right? Here it is, Russo, who comes from radio. You claim you brought him up. Y'all need to know. Y'all needed another reason for this. Russo, who y'all wanted to be y'all next Skip Bayless. You said, we need an old wrinkly white man. That's what we need. Let's get Russo. We got him on radio. And now let's let him do his radio act on live television. So Stephen A. Smith is running late to work. Late for his morning job. They got him running around doing 85,000 jobs, right? He's running late for his show this morning. That's his security guard. That's Stephen A. He's running. Security running. Look at him. They're videotaping you running to the ESPN office. Running late. There he comes into the office. They got you running into the goddamn office late. Going in late to work. Look at him. Oh, come on. We got to get there. Your security guard is older than you. And this guy, who's not your executive producer, who's not your boss, make you sit on the floor like a little boy, clap his hands in front of you. Like you was a bad puppy. Like you was a bad dog. Bad dog. Bad dog. You owe black people an apology. It's 2024 and you allow this to happen on national television. I would never agree to letting this white man who didn't even have a show on TV, who's not my boss, come around and make me lay on the floor while he clap his hands over me like I'm a dog. Like I said, we would have a problem with this. The majority of us in this chat would have a problem with that. But like I told you, not everybody is unhappy with their jobs. They love it. They love this part of the job. So when we keep empowering people like this, look, Molly's trying to hide her laughter. As you sitting there and this guy is belittling you, got you laying on the floor. You want to hear what this man is saying to him? Let's listen.
Leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing? You're our fearless leader. And here it is. You show up at 10. What time was it?
I think it was like 10:24.
10:20. And then he has to get his makeup on, have his little bagel, his little yogurt, little coffee.
Yeah.
He walks in here at 10:36 in the morning. That is
Yeah, he clapped at him like he was a bad dog. He clapped at you like a bad dog, like you was a punk. And it's a topic. Mad Dog is mad at Stephen A. being late yesterday. Damn, you can't be late on the job one time and you got to be denigrated like this? What black man would agree to this? What black man would agree to being treated like this on national television? Not one that will respect their words. It's not even funny. It's sad. What would I do in that situation? Well, I wouldn't be in this situation right here. If I was late, I was just late. For whatever the reason may be, I was just late that day. I'm quite sure Molly's been late. I'm quite sure this guy's probably been late in his life to something. Quite sure a lot of people on that job have been late or took off work. Was feeling under the weather. I ain't never see them get sit on the floor. They had to chastise him and break him for having a Negro moment. Oh, you cannot come in here on black folks' time. You can't come in here on CPT. We got to break you on national television. Mm, mm, mm. You see, they love to do this to him.
Did you see the stuff?
It's not like a one-off. So this was never about him being late. See, it had nothing to do with about him being late. They do this to him all the time. They gonna make him get on the floor and do push-ups. I don't think you could do it.
I have a bet with somebody. I'm not going to say who, but it's for a pretty penny. Sure, you, it's not a problem. I can take it.
Why don't you go
But-
down and do 20
but-
push-ups for me?
You gonna make me do 20 push-ups?
Can you?
You
I
make me
would
do
love
20
to see
push-ups?
this. Can you?
I'll do 20 push-ups.
Stanilowski, you want me to do 20
Wait,
push-ups?
I want to do 20.
20
See
push-ups?
this. Can you?
I'll do 20 push-ups.
Stanilowski, you want me to do 20
Wait,
push-ups?
I want
Can you?
You
I
make me
would
do
love
20
to see
push-ups?
this.
Listen.
I assure you, it's not a problem. I can take it.
Why don't you go
But-
down and do 20
but-
push-ups for me?
You gonna make me do 20 push-ups?
God.
Can you?
You
I
make me
would
do
love
20
to see
push-ups?
this. Can you?
You make-
Look at, I would love to see this.
do
I would
20
love to see
push-ups.
Stanilowski,
Look, I would love to see this. Look, he want to see it happen. They want you to drop and give me 50. Drop, 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 drop and give me 20. They treat Stephen A like a thought. Ooh, I can't believe they did this on TV. They making you drop. They making this boy drop down on his. He's supposed to be the boss. Who could go to their job and tell their boss, I want you to drop on the floor and give me some push-ups?
you want me to do
Wait,
20 push-ups?
I want to do 20 push-ups.
I bet you $100
Hold on.
you cannot do 20 real push-ups.
I'm doing them right now.
Oh, you can't do 20
go.
push-ups.
Hold on.
Look at him. Whoa, you can't do 20 push-ups. Molly jumps out there for that $100. You can tell, look how she already on all fours right now for $100. I want to do it with you. I want to do it. They like, Molly, that is not a position for a push-up. That's a position for something else. That's a position you doing for something else for a lot more than $100.
Let's go.
Just telling me to do
Let's go.
some push-ups. Really, Molly?
One.
Now she's doing it to really try to embarrass him.
2,
2.
3.
No, I'm
Molly
already
pumping
at
him
3.
out. Look at
Molly's
Molly.
pretty good. Yeah, I'll hold you, coach.
Those are good.
I know, Dan. I work out.
I see you, Miles. I see you, Miles.
You can't do it, but go ahead.
Come on, Molly. Keep going.
I'm at 13.
Come on.
That's
14,
very good.
15, a little
Finish.
lower, 16, little lower, 17,
Little lower,
18,
that's right. 1,
19. Finish strong.
18.
19,
Finish strong.
20. You are better than Stephen A. Go ahead. Do it.
So Molly goes down and drop.
Stephen A, you can't beat that.
Fanny, get
Victor
your
by
fanny down.
Look, they telling him you ain't going down enough. You go all the way
Victor, but
down.
I'm actually in shape.
Ooh. Ooh.
They want him nose down on the floor.
Ooh.
You got to
Five,
keep your core tight.
six,
Your back's a little arched.
7,
Can
8.
I have my shoes
This is
on?
better than I thought. 10, 11, 12.
This is better than I thought.
13.
Wait.
Look, he's enjoying this. This is better than I thought. Drop and give me 50. They make you drop down. Oh, hunchback over there. Look at him. Hunchback.
Wait, my
Four,
feet are.
again. Short,
This is getting
15,
awkward now.
16, 17, 18.
Let's go, SA! You got this! Let's go!
Yes, sir! 20 push-ups! You did it. I love this.
Unbelievable. You damn right I can't do 20. Not right now. Not with my arm messed up. I ain't even doing it. Now, unbelievable. So how many times must you go through a humiliation ritual? As I told you, some people, they're not comfortable with that. They would have a problem. You couldn't even approach certain black people and ask them to do that. But like I told you, every black person don't want the same thing. Some people like being on the plantation. They love their job. They love master take care of them. They feel special. Now, what did any of that have to do with sports? Right. They made him drop, and give me 20 there on the spot. Drop, drop, and give me 20 grenade for the thought. Ooh, I can't believe they got you to do that on TV. I know, man. And Bob Iger and Jimmy Pitaro, no, we got our boy. He loved to say that. We've been number one for 13 years. We've been number one for the last 13 years. You don't even need, what do you mean the last 13 years? You're number one because ESPN has the most outlets. That means they can have a talking chimp on the show in the morning. Put him right there in your seat. ESPN First Take gonna be number one. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah, and when Monica McNutt was up there, you saw Stephen A. What's his buddy? Stephen A. was right back into it, and you saw what Shannon Sharp had to say. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you see McNutt wasn't on the show. She was gone for a couple days. But you know they can't fire her. They got to bring her back. They had to go to commercial. Monica McNutt has made her rounds off of checking Stephen A. Smith live on air. We seen it. Mm-hmm. She's on everybody. She was on the damn Daily News. Like she said, that got me on this show. Right. Do you think Stephen A. would have been in the field? Nope. He'd have been in the house. Candyland. Man, this is Candyland. Mm-hmm. What the hell is that dude doing up there on that nag? Why is he up there on that nag? Bob Iger, he's a Freeman. Jimmy, why is he on that nag? Stephen, I'm not going to tell you again, Stephen. He's a Freeman. Now let it go. I wonder why he up there on that nag. Of course he got the same name. That's who he was. Stephen A. Smith. Yeah. He be the main one they call in there. Stephen, what's going on? I'm going to tell you right now. They not here to buy no mandingos. Kevin Durant came here for her. Him and Kyrie Irving. Hell, you could put Will Smith and Jaylen Brown in it too. They all here. I'm telling you, master. They coming here to make a fool of you. And I ain't gonna let that happen. Not on my watch. They made this Uncle Ruckus character designed for him. He likes what he do. He lives to please them. As long as Stephen thinks it's okay, then they're gonna do it. Stephen, would black folks be offended if I did this? Oh, no. Trust me, I know my people. They'll deal with it. You might have one or two, but the majority, they gonna be okay. Well, all right. Well, we want you to lay on the floor and let this guy chastise you like a child. Oh, okay. That sounds funny. Thanks for understanding. See, I wish we had more like you, Stephen. You know, that Jalen Rose, we just couldn't get him under control. He keeps breaking protocol and keeps just spurting things out of his mouth. We can't have that around here. I know it's unfortunate what happened to Jalen. I thought by marrying Molly, we had him under control. Yeah, I told him I thought that wouldn't be a good idea, but good thing Molly stayed home. And we had to get rid of that Jalen Rose. Now you got to find another one. That Kimberly Martin, boy, she is dumb as rocks. But she works. That was a good find. Thank you. Oh, no problem. I'll keep roping them in. Yeah, you do that. I'm telling you. You are well born in the making. Keep it up. Oh, you know I aims to please. Anytime you need me, I'm there. This man loves what he does. The masses are right there, and he loves doing this. There are people right now with jobs who can give 2 F's about their damn supervisor, manager, boss. They could kill them. If they had it their way, they would want to knock the boss right upside the damn head. They can give a damn if the boss ate, what he ate, how he ate. Long as the boss got his money on Friday. That's the only job the boss matters to the damn employee. They don't care about how the boss look. They don't care about nothing. They be like, look, it's Friday. And don't tell me I gotta see Suzanne to get my goddamn check. I want direct deposit. Shoot. Are you kidding me? All we want is the check. Most black folks don't even want to see the boss forever. When you see the broad boss, you know that there's got to be some problems. So we don't even want to see the goddamn boss. Seeing the boss does not go with our whole program. Hold on. That don't go with our format. So because it don't go with the format, that's the norm. Nah, we don't. We just got to go to work. The boss job is to pay me. When I had a job, I didn't hate the boss, just didn't care about seeing him. Now, when it gets to a point where I got to see the boss, I'm mad. Because I'm not supposed to see the boss. Boss better have my money. You see, that's the point I try to make with everybody. Pay me my money. That's all. Before Chuck Berry went out there on that floor and said 1, 2, 3, 4, he said, "Pay me my money." In cash. Right. We just want you to cut the check. When I came in here to interview, it wasn't for the benefit of the boss feelings. I ain't want Stephen A. the one be, "Oh, how you doing, Jimmy? Oh, how did Suzanne do on her test? I heard she had a test. Woo, that little boy, that little Susanna, she gonna be just like you. And how's your little boy? Oh, Timmy, I sent him a birthday gift. Did he get it? Yeah, I hope he got it. Yeah, I sent him a little truck. I'm quite sure he enjoyed it. I don't know what he got. Got a lot of gifts come through. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Oh, yeah. You know how you like that coffee cup on the right side of the desk? Yeah, I went ahead and gone and put it over there for you. And I went and dusted it over there. Not a speck of dust on that desk. Yep, I bet. I'll tell you. Nobody better not say a bad word about my boss. Nobody's asking anybody to dislike their boss in the workplace. Nobody's asking that. What we're saying is there's a thin line between doing your job and what he's doing. You work for ESPN. It's a sports show. Why are you laying on the floor being chastised for being late to your job? When you the boss, right? Mad Dog Russo ain't your boss. He just happened to be white. So what you telling black folks is anybody who white has got domination over you. And if they talk to you, you bow your head, you do whatever you do, and you start buck dancing. I remember one job, my boss, who happens to be from Ukraine, he's a Ukrainian boss, named Levi. Levi wanted everybody, or Levy, or whatever he wants to call himself, it would confuse him. Spaceship is a Chicago anthem, buddy, because we were all working that shift when that song was out. So old Levy thought and asked, would I stay late? How many of all of us working people who will work blue-collar jobs before had that request when it's your time to go home? And they ask you to stay late and say, hey, man, can you stay late? But when you wanted extra hours, they awarded it to somebody else because they didn't want you to have time and a half, but somebody else can have time and a half. They want you out at exactly 40. But now, because they in a jam, they want you to stay late to help them out. Oh, me and the boss had a nice conversation about how you like to keep everybody else who don't do work and give them 45 to 50 hours, 10 hours of overtime, and want to make sure the brothers out here at 40. So I'm at 40. Now, unless you're gonna start putting me on time and a half, like you scheduling them 45s, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you wanted that. Sorry, Mr. Levi. I'm gonna be going home. Because see, that's why you're in the jam. Because the people that actually do the job and do the work, you want them to go home. The people that sit around here and talk all day, speaking your Ukrainian language, that you ain't got no problem with them talking all goddamn day long. You got them sitting up there talking all day long and ain't doing the work. So now you're behind. And you think I'm gonna break my neck to try to stay late and do that for you? Nope, I'm gonna have to get scheduled overtime. I want that time and a half. And if you ain't talking about giving me time and a half, then my bug ass is going home. That's the deal. So Levi was upset, but he knew he wasn't dealing with your average brother. He dealt with a man that could talk to the boss like he was a boss. He could be unpleasant by it, but he had to sit somebody home and say, hey, no 45 for y'all this week. This brother finna get it. I had to go talk to Walter Zarepsky. Good old Walter. Now, Walter's a good boss. He was. Walter was not somebody to stand on your neck, would not get in your way at all, unless his boss tells him he got to go do that. Walter was a great individual. As a supervisor is everything. Him and Mike Conti. Mike and Walter were great working together. There was no problems. Now, the only situation that ever reared its head and became a problem and became a situation fell on the world's shoulders because someone thought they knew more than everybody else. It's always one of them. It's always one of them that think they know more than everybody else in the goddamn world. And this guy, he said, that usually gets you fired. Yeah, when you don't have anything to offer. Now, me and the other 4 black employees that's working on the ship, we're sitting there having a conversation about what should we do about a certain way of doing the job. They see 4 black people standing together and automatically assume we ain't doing work, we just BS. Meanwhile, you got the Latinos over there talking in Spanish. You got the Euros over there talking in whatever language they doing, Ukrainian stuff. You got the Polish people over there talking in their Polish language. And nobody says a word. 4 black guys who talking about how we're getting ready to do the job. They ain't worried about what we do. So naturally, when they tried to single us out, I didn't like that very much. All the other 3 brothers said, man, I'm just going to be quiet. I said, that's the difference between you and me. They finna hear about this in the biggest way possible. Can we come back from 03? Yes, we can. Yeah. Here's the news. Once they made that approach, I went into the office and told them, I said, who had the complaint? Walter looked at me, Mike looked at me, and Mike was like, man, this came from up top. Somebody is saying something. They're not going to lie to me because they know I'm like, we're talking about how we finna do the Stevenson job. We don't want any flaws. So we're going over the way to do the Stevenson job. That we're working. We're actually talking about work. We're actually talking about how we're getting ready to do the Stevenson job. Do you want someone else to do Stevenson's job? Because we'll just step out the way and let somebody else do it if we have a problem with Stevenson's job. Oh, no, definitely no. That's not what we're saying. We'll definitely step back and you can let the Latinos come in here and do the Stevenson job all you want. Now, this is not a bad remark on the Latino. And this is not a bad remark to the Polish people or the Ukrainian people. I just know our worth. The reason why we had the Stevenson job, because one, it was tedious, and the labor was enough that these people didn't want to do it. They didn't want the Latinos to do it because you have to follow instructions to the letter, and it's not written in Spanish. And a lot of them struggled with understanding English. They could speak English. A lot of them couldn't read it and translate that into what they wanted. Words are abbreviated. You know, they couldn't really follow. A lot of them couldn't follow the instructions because they couldn't really understand the reading. They didn't understand what certain words were because they were abbreviated. And rather than say, I don't understand, they just say, I think I got it. And just do the job and F it all up. Now, they didn't want that. So they knew that he said, been there twice over. Right, we've all been here. So we had to go in there, and I had to stand up for the other three brothers who was scared to stand up. One of the brothers told me, man, don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. I'm like, I've been here for about 6 years. You've been here damn near longer than us. You was working in another department. Don't rock the boat. All I'm doing is telling people what's going on, what's actually happening. But don't rock the boat. And it's always that brother. So when I went and talked to the bosses, because I had a rapport with these guys, I said, look, here's what's going on. Even the one guy thought I was banging his wife, this other guy, Jack. I could have banged his wife before she was even his wife. As a matter of fact, she wasn't his wife. She ended up being his fiance. I talked about this in the hood story. And I'm like, he thinks I slept with her and was doing it the whole time with her and all this. He was just weird. But that's what code could do to you. Mm-hmm. He said, I remember that whole story. Exactly. And I thought I was banging his wife or fiance or whatever. I could have. let's not forget that. I could have. Could have 1,000 times. But actually, he let the person that was sleeping with his wife into the house. She said, this is my cousin. They speaking in Spanish. The guy, he's like, he don't speak English. And he's giving them beer and everything. And then he'll leave the house and her cousin is getting down in his house while he go to work. Fucking idiot, man. Fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. That's some nasty work right there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Nasty work. Oh, so what ended up happening? Well, we ended up doing the Stevenson job, and they ended up leaving us the hell alone. They told the supervisors, like, look, they talking about the Stevenson job. Why are y'all harassing these people? Don't nobody bother anybody else. They're talking in Polish over here and this and that. Just because you don't understand it, y'all don't know what they're talking about. These guys are actually talking about work. So Walter went to bat for us. Mike always gonna go to bat for us. Mike was great. Rest in peace to Mike Content. Mike was a great boss because Mike didn't bother nobody, and Mike, his thing was he was banging chicks on the job, had a wife at the crib, banging the female Latino chicks on the job. Mike was great. Mike didn't care about nothing. Mike was, what's really going on? I'm like, Mike, this is some bull that's on my head. Whenever something was going down, I had to tell Mike. I had to jump on the grenade. You know, I'm not going to throw my homie under the bus. My supervisor, who's Latino, I wasn't going to throw him under the bus. I'm like, this is my guy. You know, I'm not going to do that for him. He banging 2 chicks on the job, and he got a wife at home. So I'm like, look, I'm not going to blow up this man's marriage and everything he got going on. Y'all calling me in the office to do the dirty work. Hell no. They was then, why did you do this? I did it because I was told to by my supervisor. End of story, period. I'm gone. You got a problem with it? Take it up with the supervisor. My job is done. I have permission to do everything that I've done. Long as I have permission, don't talk to me. End of story. I was out. You can't, how are you going to tell somebody who had permission to do anything that they've done, they on here with a stenographer? What do I need to be out there for? I'm like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody I know is out here at all. What point, what advantage? I'm over there 24/7. Boy, I was so goddamn mad they called me in there. All right, trying to get me to throw my supervisor under the bus, talking about they finna do something to me, and I gotta take the fall for it. Man, there was no outdoor incident. I was like, man, there was no outdoor incident. My supervisor sent me out there outside to go out that door. He was like, this is why I told you to leave the door open when you go out there. He's like, I want you to go to my car, get something out of my car, bring it in for her, but take it through the back so can't nobody see it. Because he was giving one gift to the other chick he was sleeping with. Why he over there, he can't be seen giving her the gift. So he's paying me like, yo, man, here, just go to my car, get it out for me. Like, do me a solid. And I'm like, all right, cool. He my supervisor. So I'm like, look, if y'all got a problem, I got permission by my supervisor to do anything that I've done. So if you got a problem, you take it up with my supervisor. He'll tell you, I gave him permission. That's it. It is done. Mm-hmm. He got another chick now. They live down the street, not that far. But I ended up leaving that place shortly after that. The best thing that ever happened to me was leaving that place. I didn't know it at the time, but leaving that place was the best thing that ever happened to me. That place was holding me back. And I'm holding myself back from being there. And I said, all right, it's time to get into the real estate game. Then we start making things happen. Then comes the economic collapse of 2008. And all of it goes to hell. And everybody's right back at square one again. Then comes the suffering for years. Then the struggle. Then from the struggle to the success. So we've seen it on all scales, all levels, high, small, tall. We've done that. Mm-hmm. Because they always put it in the realm of you could only do so much and only go so far. So when you see Stephen A. do the things he do, it's because he can only go so far. His capabilities would only take him so far before they slam that door in his face. Now, we're going to get to the Patreon and get up out of here and do what we got to do. But I want to say thank y'all all for showing up here and showing out. Shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life, who was one of the first people to tell us about it. And if you was on the Patreon, you would be aware of some of the things that we're talking about now. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you was on the Patreon, you would have saw this. Ba-ba. And we clearly broke down and explained what was actually happening. And then, Sino had to tell it like it is. So you always made known the things up front. I had to go after Stephen A. Then we exposed him as a fraud, me and Kwame. Charlie Murphy Bodyguard Stories, episode 5. I know y'all been loving them, but it's gonna get even crazy. Wait till you hear part 6.